Welcome everyone to the Avengenerds podcast, where we're talking more about DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torn, and with me is my co-host Peyton.
Yo.
Today we'll be talking about Fantastic Four and the news of the week. There are time codes in the description of the show notes if you want to jump around. And with that, here's Pay with the news.
Torn, Fantastic Four is finally here, and with that comes the news of a new Mortal Kombat trailer.
Look, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about trailers, man, but
What?
I feel like lately trailers have been disappointing me, and I come out like in the final product even more.
They haven't been hidden?
Nah, man, I don't know what it is. Like it's like I'll see a trailer for something. It just happened like recently. Like I saw a trailer or something, and I'm like, wow, like, oh, it was Peacemaker. We'll talk about that later. But I saw the trailer for Peacemaker, and I was like, man, the trailer isn't really hitting me, but I know I'm gonna like it. So I don't know what it is. And that's the thing here for Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat was like, you know, trailer's all right. Like, I kind of want to see what the direction they're going with. I'm glad that they're focusing on Johnny a little bit more,
Rather than a nobody.
I don't know what they were doing with that. I don't know what they were doing with that player one pseudo Black Panther-esque character, but I did not like it. Some people were saying that Cole might die, which I wouldn't.
The Mortal Kombat starts and he dies immediately.
I personally like wouldn't mind. I mean, I love like Louis Tan and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel really bad for Louis Tan.
Like he's a really good actor. He's also a great like martial artist on film and outside of his work. But I don't think they're doing him right with putting him in Mortal Kombat. I think I would have much rather have him be like someone that's part of the cast, like in terms of like the video game cast, and not just a random person who is sucked into the Mortal Kombat universe. But overall, for the trailer, I mean, like I said, I like Johnny Cage. I have come around of Carl Urban being Johnny, given that like he's a like in terms of the story, he's a washed up actor who's being placed into this tournament. I'm glad that we're getting Katana, more of Katana. We're seeing Jade. Don't know how I feel about the look, but
you're racist. Got it.
Jade. I'm not. No, I just don't think I like the bald look. However, movie may change differently. Now, one thing I will say I'm not a fan of is Baraka. Like,
really?
I'm not. I think Baraka looks good. I'm just not a fan of him like speaking.
Oh,
like that.
I don't even remember how he sounded. I'm not gonna lie.
He sounded human instead of sounding like a Tarkatan.
Hello, Mr. Johnny Cage. You may notice my teeth and sword hands. Well, that's because of a disease I have, if they're going with that canon.
Other than that, I mean, I'm sure I want to see where they take this Mortal Kombat movie. We talked about it a long time ago. We didn't enjoy it as much as we wanted to. Great like action and great like all great effects with like the blood and everything, but like as a story, it's just not cohesive.
There wasn't any Mortal Kombat.
It's not very Mortal Kombat, and like from what people were saying is that like this felt like a prequel to the now second movie, which
that's what we said. It felt like this felt like a prequel.
And yeah, I'm like I said. Oh, also it's great to see Bihan, new Cybot. Like
he looks great.
They're cooking.
Yeah,
they're cooking with that. I'm really, really enjoying that. A little bit more Scorpion. Got to see more of that. I want to see more Liu Kang. I feel like he was
barely in the trailer.
Yeah, he was barely in the trailer. He was barely in the first movie. They put him as a tertiary character, which is like not like Mortal Kombat at all. Usually, like in some cases, and like Liu Kang is like a secondary character, but he's like also the main focus in most of the games and most of the lore. But like I said, I want to see more of everybody in this cast. And what is it? It comes out
October, I want to say.
October, yeah. Damn, that's crazy to think about. But yeah, like I said, I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was bad, but like I had fun with it.
Yeah, I remember watching the first one like in a hotel room on my phone.
Yeah, the way Ed Boon intended.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I was out of town and I was like, man, the Mortal Kombat movie dropped, like, and I remember it dropped on HBO Max, the purple HBO Max. And I was like, wait, I have it. So I downloaded it, I watched it on my phone, and like I said, like I had fun with it.
I wonder if we would have thought it was better if we actually saw it in theaters.
You know what? Yeah, that's true.
Some movies are just made for the big screen.
That's true.
Who knows? But this is some DC news. This is according to Variety. The Wonder Woman movie is being fast-tracked at DC Studios, and it'll be written by Anna Nogueira, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, who is currently writing the Teen Titans movie and wrote Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
They putting her to work, man.
I mean, clearly James Gunn has confidence in her if he's putting her on 3 really big movies.
Dude, I know her fingers are gonna be on fire, man. Typing all that in a script writing software.
Yeah, I mean, when Supergirl was initially like greenlit, I mean, the streets were saying it was like an extremely strong script. So
yeah,
it's exciting. And what's crazy is she has like no writing credits other than the DC stuff.
Sometimes you gotta give them with a big bang.
I get like I'm really curious if like, because she's an actress. I wonder if she like saw James Gunn was doing what he was doing and wrote a script for it. It was like, Mr. Gunn, please look at my script. And he was like, all right. And he was like, hey, this shit's fire. He was like, you're hired.
I kind of like that pipeline of like,
I do too,
the actors turning into like writers and directors, and then like like somehow like just having like the most fire stuff imaginable.
Yeah, like I mean, he's talked about like how a movie won't get greenlit without a good script, and you know, he's so ingrained in this comic book world, he knows what he's looking for. And in other places in Hollywood, unless you have some sort of writing background, you know, you're not really even gonna get taken seriously.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she was taken seriously at all by James, I feel like there's no other way, if anyone else was in charge of DC, she would have been hired for any of these. So yeah, good stuff.
I wonder who's gonna get cast as Wonder Woman for sure.
I hope it's an unknown, or unknown-ish, like David Corenswet.
Ish.
Yeah. Anyway, this is according to DCU leaks. Apparently the Jimmy Olsen series is reportedly going to be a crime anthology centered around various DC villains, with Skylar Gisondo, I don't know, is that how you pronounce his name? Skylar Gisondo is Jimmy Olsen as the host. And according to Jeff Snyder, apparently the HBO Max series will reportedly introduce Gorilla Grodd to the DCU.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, I'm imagining like DC villain of the week, like sort of like She-Hulk in the way that it's like it's sort of following you know, it's smaller stakes.
Yeah.
But you get to like sort of shotgun a bunch of DC characters, and maybe they can appear in future things. So that could I think this would be really, really great. And you know, you were talking about it a couple weeks ago when we initially talked about it being a series. Someone saying that like, yeah, it'd be like regular show where just the most batshit stuff happens.
I want to see a Gorilla Grodd go by bust into the room again and just be like, Barack Obama. We will make America Grodd again.
Yeah. It's one of the best shows, man. It's one of the best shows. But I've seen people sleep on Jimmy Olsen. They're like, why is he getting his own show? Hey, man, y'all sleep.
Look, dude, like this is James Gunn we're talking about. Like this is gonna be like the most wacky shit, but peak shit imaginable. Yeah. Like it is like we need to push the boundary for sure, which is James Gunn is doing. Like that type of show in the DCU will be so good.
And not only that, but like Jimmy Olsen, obviously his job is to work at the Daily Planet, and James Gunn has from the beginning has sort of wanted to set up this universe sort of as like a sort of a Star Wars more than a Marvel, in the sense that characters can show up anywhere at any time. So like we could, like, if in a Jimmy Olsen series, we could get a lot of Clark Kent content. Like in the Marvel stuff, I hesitate to call it a problem, but like if someone has a solo show, like a secondary character, like fuck it, I don't know, Pepper Potts. If Pepper Potts had her own show, the likelihood of Tony Stark showing up is slim, because he's number one, a movie character, and number two, RDJ would be expensive and hard to get. But I'm pretty sure James Gunn either has it in their contract or just is just part of the agreement that like they show up when they show up. So I feel like David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan would show up at the Daily Planet in a Jimmy Olsen show, and it wouldn't be like Superman wouldn't even necessarily show up. They probably do a bit like, oh, there's something going on TV and Clark disappears or something like. But I feel like he would be in the show, but he would be second fiddle to Jimmy Olsen. You know what I mean? Like he would steal the show. I think James Gunn is capable of building that kind of universe. But yeah, exciting stuff. This is according to Deadline. The Booster Gold series is apparently progressing at HBO. David Jenkins, who did Our Flag Means Death, is writing the pilot. If picked up for a full series, Jenkins will become the showrunner, and apparently Kumail Nanjiani will not be playing the character as previously rumored.
I know motherfuckers are happy.
Yeah. This is a random side note. Did you see that Sacha Baron Cohen got jacked?
I did see that, yeah.
My God. Hey man, you're gonna be in this one episode. Sacha Baron Cohen's like, gotta get shredded. I gotta get jacked. But yeah, I Booster Gold is such a, like, anyone who like likes DC knows Booster Gold, but anyone who like just watches like the movies and stuff likely has no idea who Booster Gold is, and he's such a fun character. I would really like for this show to actually happen. And honestly, I'm not for a character like Booster Gold. I'm not really a stickler for who gets cast. Like, I'm sure they'll pick the right person. I'm not really gunning for anyone in particular. So if it's Kumail Nanjiani, if it's not Kumail Nanjiani, if it's someone else, I don't care. People want Glenn Powell.
People do want Glenn Powell.
This is according to Daniel RPK. This is very exciting. Zach Krieger, who's did Barbarian and is most recently doing Weapons, reportedly intends to pitch a Joker and Harley Quinn movie to DC Studios. That sounds nuts. Apparently it would be in sort of from the perspective of one of their henchmen. And I don't know, man. Zach Krieger, he's kind of the guy right now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and James Gunn's insane enough to be like, yep, that sounds good.
Get that script ready.
You pitch something like that tomorrow, will they be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get out of here.
Shit, bro, dude. All I know is that James Gunn be teleporting into these directors' houses, and he'd be like, script, get ready. Now.
Yeah, this is super exciting. Then we move on to some Marvel news. All the Marvel news is from a sort of sit down Kevin Feige did with the press, and there's a bunch of tidbits here. So first, he revealed that he has 2 years, a little less, on his Marvel Studios contract, which a lot of people are taking that as, oh, he's gonna leave or whatever. I don't really know. He also said that he sees himself like producing movies for as long as he lives. So whether he stays at Marvel or maybe he just takes more of a back seat to the Marvel movies, I don't know, but I don't really like see him like straight up leaving. But yeah, that's what he said on his contract. He confirmed that he started having conversations with Robert Downey Jr. about replacing Kang as the Multiverse Saga's big bad before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was released. So yeah, he saw the movie and was like, yeah, we gotta pivot. He was like, yeah, this ain't working. I saw a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but I saw a couple of people were like mad because they were like, oh man, saw an up and coming black man and they had to replace him. nah, man, the character just wasn't working. I don't know what it just people weren't connecting with him as an antagonist as much as they were Thanos. I mean, it's not, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that.
So,
but
I mean, like, that's just the thing too, is that, like, I think it's fine to pivot from Kang. I think the problem is that you're pivoting Kang to Doom, who just needs that bigger buildup. And like, as Kang, the thing, like, just speaking from a comic perspective, yeah, I guess, like, in a way, like, if they had another event where he's a big enough threat and then, like, he gets taken down, but then, like, he escapes and he pops up every now and then, I think that the thing that could have worked in the MCU, because it's happened a lot in the comics. But I just think, like, in terms of, like, myself and other people who know like just a little bit about these characters, is just definitely cautiously optimistic about, like, what's gonna happen with all this stuff. But we talked about Quantumania and how, like, introducing Kang into Quantumania is a choice.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
It's a choice that unfortunately was beyond safe.
I actually don't mind the choice.
It's just the execution of it.
Yeah, the movie was shit.
Yeah, no. And then it's like,
I don't even have a problem of, like, oh, Ant-Man beat Kang. I don't really give a shit about that. Maybe it's because, like, I like comic shit, and that kind of happens all the time, and they'll still be, like, a major threat down the line. So I don't know if that's because of that, but I didn't really mind that. But yeah, the movie was shit. So
yeah, it's like the movie was bad, and then it's like, granted, with the MCU, they're gonna play it safe, but which, like, I think when it comes to building up that big bad, you're having Kang be this, like, big multiversal threat, and Loki season 1 and season 2, but then you're gonna have Ant-Man win, like, in the movie, and then not really going anywhere with it. I think that's just kind of like a slap in the face. I think it would have been, like, a good thing to, like, have Kang win and Ant-Man survive, or have Kang win, or, like, and Ant-Man dies, and there just has to be, like, a bigger level of stakes.
The original plan, and what it looked like the movie was going to do.
The original script that Jeff Loveness wrote,
Kang was going to win, and Paul Rudd's Ant-Man would stay behind in the quantum realm, which makes sense. But I think they said they didn't do it because it was too similar to something.
Infinity War.
I don't think it was Infinity War. I think it was too similar to something else, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But whatever. They say all these movies are the same. Why the fuck? Like, this is where you draw the line.
Crazy, man. Crazy, but still.
Yeah. Okay, so he said this about Blade. He said, quote, "We didn't want to put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires. You can start and have a good script and make it a great script through production, but we didn't feel confident. We couldn't do that on Blade. We didn't want to do that to Mahershala, and didn't want to do that, and didn't want to do that to us." He also said that they're focusing on a modern day setting for Blade now instead of a period piece. A lot of people are taking this the wrong way. People are saying, like, oh, they're not gonna have him kill vampires, and he's not gonna wear. Yes, they are. They're just saying that it's not as simple as putting on a leather jacket and killing vampires. That's all he's saying. Like, it has to be a movie. But yeah, so he also says later in this interview how Marvel's, because a lot of people are, like, criticizing, I think he's saying this because of the stuff around Doomsday, but, like, people are, like, criticizing Doomsday right now because they're like, oh, they haven't finished the script yet, and they're sort of doing it on the fly and stuff like that. And Kevin Feige's like, that's how we do most of our movies. Which a lot of people were like, what? It's like, well, yeah, they did it at Iron Man. This is kind of, and it's not like they don't have a script. They have a script, but they make constant changes as they are in production. And I think that's why the MCU's taken a little bit of a dip too, because Kevin Feige is usually very hands-on with this stuff and very involved in this creative process. And because he hasn't been and hasn't been able to have that quality assurance, I think that's why they've taken a little bit of a dip. But he's saying that in the instance of Blade, with Mahershala and stuff like that, it's going to be different, and they actually want like a completed script. Which, yeah, I guess from outside looking in, it sounds insane. But I mean, if that's how they've done this for 20 years now, then I don't know, who am I to judge? He also admitted that post Endgame, it was quantity over quality at Marvel Studios. He said, quote, "We've had well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. That's too much. I think it led people to say, it used to be fun, but now do I have to know everything about all of these?" And I think that's true. He also said in the instance of Thunderbolts, he thinks that's a big reason why that movie underperformed at the box office, because even though that the movie sets these characters up in a way that you don't have to watch the previous stuff, a lot of people, and I can attest to this from seeing stuff online and stuff like that, and like, you know, Nicole, she always asks me like, what do I have to watch before I see Thunderbolts? I'm like, I told her the stuff that she had, or that she could watch, but I think all the stuff she'd already watched. But point is, you don't have to watch anything, but a lot of people feel like they do have to watch a bunch of stuff so they don't feel left behind, so they can actually enjoy the movie, when for Thunderbolts that just wasn't the case. It's also, even outside of like, you know, him acknowledging the quality over quantity, or quantity over quality stuff, it's nice that he's acknowledging that the stuff, or that why Thunderbolts underperformed wasn't because of it as a movie, or the writers or the directors or the performers, which I think is really good. He said that they're not allowed to bring Miles Morales into the MCU yet. He said, quote, "We've been told to stay away until the Spider-Verse films are finished." Sony strikes again. He confirmed that Avengers Secret Wars, okay, this is probably the thing that probably got the biggest headlines. He confirmed that Avengers Secret Wars will reboot the universe in some way. He said, quote, "Reboot is a scary word. Reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Reset, singular timeline. We're thinking along those lines. X-Men is where that will happen next." And he also said the current plan for the MCU's future spans until 2032. So, yeah, the universe is going to reset. We're going to talk a little bit about this a little bit more in our Fantastic Four review. But the fact that the universe is getting reset in a way is both very scary to me, but also exciting, because we can do away with a lot of the stuff that didn't necessarily work, while also bringing in the X-Men in maybe a less clunky way. But he also did talk about how eventually recasting for characters like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. We'll see. But, you know, there's heavy rumors of Damson Idris as Black Panther, and likely being T'Challa. Whether or not he's like T'Challa or T'Challa's son is left to be seen. But the fact that they're thinking about a reboot, whether it's a soft one or not, is very interesting. Although Secret Wars, the fallout of Secret Wars is sort of like a rebooted universe anyway, so maybe they were always going to go along this lines, because Secret Wars was always the plan after King Dynasty. But yeah, that is the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is, of course, Fantastic Four First Steps. We're going to do non-spoilers and spoilers. There's going to be time codes in the description of the show notes if you want to jump around to the spoiler review. Torn, what were your spoiler-free thoughts?
I absolutely love this movie. I really did.
Shill.
I mean, shit, man. I'm the fucking shilliest person. Call me Shillian Murphy the way I like this movie, bro. Dude. You know, like the whole week I was watching the Fantastic Four movies up until this point, and you know, I'll watch obviously the 90s one on YouTube, and then obviously the ones from the 2000s, as well as Fan Four Stick. And if this movie didn't, like, before watching this movie, I would have said the 90s version has some sort of like better characterization than some of the early 2000s one. Mm-hmm. I know it's a hot take.
I don't think it's not crazy to say,
because people have on nostalgia goggles, but to, like, you know, just like watch, after watching this, I feel like this is like the Fantastic Four movie that we've needed to see. It does everything that, you know, to my liking, to what I grew up on, to what I wanted a Fantastic Four movie to have. It has the heart, it has the characters, the characterization and the themes down of family, And with every actor playing their respective roles down to a T, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, I mean, we've said it before on our podcast, we were kind of cautiously optimistic about it. I mean, then again, we do like Pedro Pascal, but we're like, we're not sure if he fit Reed Richards.
He certainly wasn't our first choice.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a first choice.
It's like it was a different reaction for me than like The Last of Us, because I remember when they were making their casting for The Last of Us, I was like, oh, who's going to be Joel? Is it going to be Hugh Jackman? It's going to be that one guy they always want, Josh Brolin, like all these like regular names that come up in fan casts. And when it was Pedro Pascal, I immediately went, oh shit, that makes so much sense. That's perfect, actually. But when Pedro Pascal was cast as Reed Richards, I was gunning for, the John Krasinski's, Glenn Howerton, Adam Scott, even. When Pedro Pascal was cast, who?
Penn Badgley.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. I mean, he was up in the conversation.
He was.
Well.
So was Adam Driver.
Yeah.
But when Pedro Pascal, I mean, Adam Driver's got the lankiness to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when Pedro Pascal was cast, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I like Pedro Pascal.
It's like,
but
it's
like
a choice.
Yeah. But yeah, like he's like, I'm glad he proved us wrong.
Yeah, of course, he definitely proved us wrong. I still think that like he nails a good read, in my opinion. I think that he's a person that like he's always getting distracted by science. He is a person that like, while he is there for his family, he still has to tend to different things because he's always thinking, he's always calculating everything. And we're seeing that with Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. With Vanessa Kirby, I think she was a highlight for sure. One thing that I will say about Matt Jackman is that I'm glad that he knows how to write women. I think he writes women in a pretty great way. The fact that like Vanessa Kirby's Sue is just a very caring and very like comforting character, even though her some of the highlights of the film is that like, she's showing all this like emotion. I think she nails down the character for Sue as well. There's a part in the film where she nails being the glue to the Fantastic Four, and we'll talk about that in the spoilers. As for Joseph Quinn, now Joseph Quinn was also kind of like a Pedro Pascal for me. Coming right off of Stranger Things, I was like, it's a choice. I think he did well in season Stranger Things, but like I didn't know too much about his career for him to be Johnny.
I remember when we talked about it, you were like, because I asked, because I'd never seen him in anything, and I was like, how do you feel about the casting? You were like, we'll see.
Because like it was like one of those things to where like I think he did good for the role he was trying to play. He like in season Stranger Things, he was like this like very quirky goth kid who just wanted to play guitar. He wanted to like mess around and everything, and like he did have like a good amount of range. But like coming off of like Fantastic Four, from early 2000s, Chris Evans, that was still, to many people, is still like a highlight of those movies. And I was like, like it's gonna be kind of hard to beat. But like Pedro Pascal, he managed to pull off Johnny. I like how mature he was. I like how, from what he did in this plot that we're gonna go on in spoilers, he managed to do well and managed to what he does in this movie, it ties into Johnny's character.
Better than any. Yeah, so like not only did they prove us wrong performance wise, they're also just the best versions of these characters we've gotten in live action.
Yeah, like they have so much chemistry to each other. Like it's literally a family. Like, and of course we're gonna be drowning that word to death, but like that's literally what Fantastic Four is all about. Like there has to be like this cohesiveness to these people, and I'm just glad that we're getting it. And then like not
Vin
only
Diesel
that,
is
like,
jealous of this dynamic.
Yeah, Vin Diesel gotta wait till 2026 for his family to end, bro. On Fast and Furious.
He's watching this movie punch in the air. He's like, why can't my family be like this?
For real. And then not to mention Ebon Moss or Bachrach as a thing. Just insane. I really enjoyed his thing for sure. He proves that like he is a charming soul and he is the heart of not only the Fantastic Four but like his community as well. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Going into this movie, also Silver Surfer Julia Garner, she was also a highlight. I really loved what they managed to do with her Silver Surfer, her being a Shala Ball. I am very pleased to see like how much room she was able to be given in the script and how much of an impact she has on the overall story. Very cool. And Galactus, Ralph Ineson's Galactus, is really cool. I really enjoyed him. He has like, you know, his voice is very distinct, and the fact that his voice coupled with like Galactus, the size of Galactus is just so intimidating.
It was kind of jarring to me at first, I'm not gonna lie.
It was jarring?
Yeah, because like I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, you never seen Ralph Ineson in anything.
Well, I've never seen Ralph Ineson in anything. I've never seen the live action Galactus, and also I haven't. Yeah, I've never thought about like how should Galactus sound. So like,
it's that's fair to say, because you know the other Galactus we've gotten in Rise of Silver Surfer. I mean, we've seen like the shadow of him, and like he was like this like big cloud, and there was like. Again, you know, there's like an image of him when Silver Surfer does like his like little like explosion thing, right? But looking at Galactus and like seeing how massive they made him, I was like, wow, this is insane. And you know, it's also one of those things to where people complain a lot about the the MCU costumes, like how they're like over designed with like in like the Rick Riddle lines. I think for Galactus it's like the best thing in my personal opinion. I think it makes sense.
Oh yeah,
how he's like Riddle, you know, with all these like lines.
It's also just
like,
very
detail.
Jack Kirby.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, man, this movie is just amazing. It's fantastic.
Say that again.
It's fantastic. But anyways, like I mean, it really is a comic book movie come to life, and I'm very glad that this is like a movie. I'm pretty sure if Jack Kirby was still here, he would love this movie. Like this is like literally his comics come to life, and it's such an endearing project, and it's definitely a passion project for sure. It's so cool. It's filled with like all these great moments, and like even just like we've talked about it before, like we love retrofuturism. The fact that they were able to do the 60s aspect in Fantastic Four for right now is just so awesome. It is amazing. I don't know. I love this project. I'm gonna go see it again. I don't know when, but I can't get enough of it. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and there's a reason why it's not a 10. Given how much I love talking about it, but
is that more of a spoiler thing?
Huh?
Is that more of a spoiler thing? Why it's not a 10?
It's more of a spoiler thing, yeah. But like I said, I'll get into that. But yeah, no, it's a great movie, and like it's a shame how divisive it is right now, you know, because we've also talked about, you know, just like, you know, the MCU and like the direction of it, and how Brave New World was kind of like, you know, kind of like the end of like, I guess in a sense like the quantity over quality phase, and then like we have Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. But I think like so far they're just nailing it out of the park with just the quality and like the overall aspect of giving us the comic booky feel of these movies. And it's so refreshing. I felt alive seeing this movie again, man. I don't know, I love it. I really do, and it makes me want to dive more into Fantastic Four, because you know I grew up with the Jack Kirby runs whenever I was a kid, and I know you've also like read Hickman's run, but like I really want to just go buy more comics and just see like what made me fall in love with the Fantastic Four in the first place, you know. I don't know, I like this a lot.
Yeah, I think it was surprising like you liked this movie more than I did.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which surprised me, because I thought I was gonna be fucking I thought I was gonna like it more than you. Just on the 60s futuristic aesthetic alone, I adore it so much. Like this isn't a spoiler, but like some of the little cars are just like a one-person car with like a little ball like orb. Oh my god. Oh, I love it so much.
Very, very Jetsons feel, you know?
I love it so much. I mean, yeah, yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. However, I will say that score is definitely subject to change. My Superman score went up after I saw it 3 times.
Wait, didn't you saw it? I thought you saw it last night.
Yeah, that was the 3rd time.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, 3rd time?
Yep.
Wait, I was talking about Fantastic Four.
Oh, no, I saw Superman.
Oh, okay. Yes. I thought you saw both last night. That's why I was confused.
Well, we got close because Connor was really tired. My mom low-key, because we got out of the theater at 10:30, and there was a showing starting at 10:30 for Fantastic Four. My mom was like, "We could walk in." I was down.
Connor threw, bro.
He did throw, bro. He's always tired, bro. He's always sleeping.
Yeah, because bro be on sets like 24/7.
I know.
Get off the set, bro.
And he's volunteering. Just say no. Tell him to say no. He ain't saying no. He goes. Like, take a break, my boy.
I'll have a talk with him about that, bro.
Yeah, talk to him.
Anyways, go for it. Keep going.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. The entire movie, I had a smile on my face. The score, bro. Oh man, look.
I'm a sucker for the score. I'm a sucker for it.
Look, the score in Superman was great, but Michael Giacchino is someone has to nerf him. Like, sometime he'll just shit something out, like Doctor Strange. He kind of shit out because he just copied his Star Trek score for that. Other than the main theme, he kind of just shits out the Spider-Man ones, except in No Way Home, he locked in for that. But like The Incredibles, Ratatouille, other things he's done, that I'm blanking on, like a Werewolf by Night, Fantastic Four, like Rogue One, the Batman. He like, when he locks in, he locks the fuck in, bro. And this, he locked in, like. It's so good. Yeah, like you said, the casting was phenomenal. Reed is easily the best character. Well, all the characters is the best characterizations we've had. But Reed in particular, like, Reed wasn't bad in the 2000s movies. I was gonna say he was the best characterized one, but nah, maybe not. But that version was still really solid. But yeah, the way this version of Reed is so locked in on his science stuff that he neglects his family, or even when he's not neglecting his family, he's sort of neglecting them emotionally, which they get into. What I thought was really, really great. And even though he's sort of distant in some ways, he's still an extremely loving and caring father. That's an extremely important aspect to his character. And they nail that. Like you said, Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm. Vanessa Kirby and Ebon Moss-Backrack were the 2 casting choices. I was like, yep, makes sense. We're good. But yeah, she was like the heart of the movie by far. Her and Franklin were terrific. I've seen stuff on, like, I saw someone post that, like, that they saw it with their family, and each of them came out of the movie with a different idea of like whose movie it was. Like, they were like, oh, this was really Reed's movie, and someone else was like, oh, this is Sue's movie, and someone else was like, oh, this is Johnny's movie, which really goes to show how well they did these characters, that people are coming out of it with different ideas of who the highlight was. And so yeah, and Johnny, like you said, the way Johnny's arc in this movie is so good. I think the cast in the 2000s movies are good. They're like good, but could be bad. Like, people are so obsessed with what's her name as Sue Storm.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Jessica Alba. She's not good.
No, she's not a good Sue.
She's fucking terrible.
They just like her because she's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, she is, yeah.
But she does nothing as that character. Like they throw in like a sprinkle of her, like, oh, she knows science shit, but like they never really do anything with it, and she's just not good. But Vanessa Kirby's terrific. Chris Evans is great as Johnny Storm, but like
it gets to a point to where like when it comes to Johnny Storm, at least in my opinion, like like in like a lot of versions he's a hothead and he is like as like a womanizer, but like he's also not stupid. I feel like he was, I mean, I'm not saying
he's not stupid, and he gives a shit.
Yeah. And then like in like some scenes, like in the movies, it just like he's like an asshole, bro. I'm just like, dude, like what the fuck? And like there, like I said, there's a lot of, or actually not even like a scene, but like there's a lot in this movie in First Steps to where they show off Johnny's intelligence like so much. And I was like, wow, like they managed to do this, but also because they managed to do this, it fits with him as a person. That's why like we're gonna talk about that as spoilers. But then like when it comes to Chris Evans, it's like oh yeah, like he's a womanizer, he's a hothead, he does cool stuff, and like there's a scene where like he does something nice, but overall it's like he's just an asshole. And that's why I said this like a couple years ago, and I still stand by that, how like Chris Evans like Human Torch is like false characterization of Johnny Storm, and he's not my ideal Johnny Storm in my opinion.
Yeah,
it kind of like, it's kind of like,
I mean he was like the best that we had.
I'm gonna say he was the best that we have for sure. Like no one, I mean look, no disrespect to Michael B. Jordan at all, but like no one wants this fucking Human Torch. Like the motherfucker sucks.
Yeah, he ain't white.
Oh God, I ain't saying all that, bro.
Hey, bro, his suit, his suit has it's like a T. Get it for Torch?
Yeah. So
and there's stupid, 4 lines on his, because Fantastic Four. You get it?
Yeah, so dumb, bro.
Oh God. Man, peak ass movie, bro. It's so good.
God, man, I still gotta finish it, bro. I still gotta finish my rewatch. I kind of like low-key been dreading it.
Hey, bro, no one's forcing you.
Yeah, you're right. But still, I gotta complete a movie no matter what. That's just my brain.
Fair enough.
But anyways, yeah, like you said, it's the best we had at the time. But still, like on like a lesser scale, Chris Evans' Johnny Storm is kind of like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to me, like in a sense. It's like, oh yeah, because we have like this like recent characterization of the character that is kind of blinded by nostalgia for like a lot of people.
I don't even think that's a Johnny Storm thing. I think that's the whole team for Fantastic Four for some people.
I mean, yeah, that is fair. I'm just giving it an example in terms of like Toby, but yeah, that like I think that to me the highlights of both of those movies is Ian Grufford for sure. At least in my opinion.
Nah, Michael Chiklis.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. I do like when he becomes human sometimes.
Yeah,
it's like
hey, I think why Michael Chiklis is the highlight for me in those movies is because it's not just, it's the script as well, but his performance does elevate it. How he does, his humanity is shown
for sure. Yeah.
It's not just boo hoo, I'm a rock man.
It's like there are moments where it's like, yeah, like Reed, I hate that you did this to me, but you're my friend, I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah, or like his relationship with what's her name,
Alicia.
Yeah,
and it's like, dang, bro, like you bagged Alicia, bro. Like, hey, props, bro.
But yeah. Moving on, bro. The thing. This shit makes me so happy, man.
Dude, he's always fitted the fuck up, bro.
He has that shit on every scene. I saw some people were mad, or not mad, but like people were like disappointed that like he was only shirtless once. I don't want him to be shirtless at all. I want him to have that shit on, bro. I want him to be fucking dripped to the nines, bro. And he was in this movie. The design, perfect. People are mad about the voice. I'm sorry. You were fucking brainwashed by the cartoons in the movies. The Thing
Dude,
is meant to have a normal ass voice.
I was looking at his rocks. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. He looks kind of soft, bro. He looks like
soft.
he looks solid. I'm like, bro, like these rocks look like bro. I don't know. They look smooth.
Good.
They look smooth, man. Bro,
He just looks so fucking perfect. He sounds perfect. He acts perfect. He's just.
It's a comic come to life, bro. It is Kirby's design come to life.
It's literally like look, I can't think of anything right now, but I was gonna say like maybe I could nitpick some of the other of the other three, but I am obsessed with the Thing. I'm obsessed. Which is which I to be honest I didn't expect, because I thought I was gonna be full read, but like the second that trailer came out, I was like, the Thing. The Thing is my guy.
I remember you were like sending me like just like reaction pictures of like the Thing whenever I would like say something crazy.
I love
a whole bunch.
And yeah, and Ebon Moss-Backrack is just phenomenal in the role. I can't get enough of him. So much so that my main complaint is there wasn't enough of him. That's actually not true. That's not my main complaint, but it's probably my second complaint. His sort of subplot was a lot of fun, something I wasn't expecting. I'll probably get more than that in the spoilers because that's not really in the trailers. But yeah, overall, I'm just delighted with this. I have to see it again. Really curious if my score is going to go up. Because again, like Superman, it's not going to go down. It's just not. Even if I come out of it and I'm like, oh, it's not like as good of like a movie as I remember, the feeling I get when I watch shit like that, like this is like movies like Superman and Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, just movie this year, not Captain America, the superhero movies this year, like reminded me why I love this shit so much. And I just hope that continues. Because like just the childlike wonder I feel when I watch these things. And like Superman, I've added to my list of comfort movies at this point. The feeling I get when I've seen it 3 times now. I'm definitely going to see it a 4th in theaters at some point.
I'm gonna see it a 4th. I'm gonna get the Steelbook 4K Ultra HD. I'm gonna
watch that on repeat. Watch the behind the scenes.
I'm gonna get a costume. I'm gonna make my future house into the Fortress of Solitude.
I'm gonna get plastic surgery to look like David Cornsweet.
I'm gonna get a dog, name him Crypto. I'm going to shave a random man bald and call him Lex Luthor and have him hate me because I shaved his head bald.
But yeah, this movie just made me so happy. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for now, but that could definitely change. So you want to get into spoilers?
Yes.
All right, just to expand on what I was talking about before, Natasha Lyonne is in this. She's playing a new character for this movie, which is Ben's love interest. Two things. Number one, I just didn't expect her to be that kind of character, because Natasha Lyonne's kind of hot right now, and you know, I just didn't expect her to be like just Ben's love interest. But that's it. But I like that. And number two, I didn't expect her to be in it as little as she was, again because it's Natasha Lyonne. But I was actually really happy with what we got with that. I saw a lot of people were disappointed that wasn't a bigger part of the movie, but I didn't really have any issue with it. A lot of Jewish representation in this, more than I was expecting. That was fun. And yeah, man, the Thing just makes me happy.
Yeah. Hey, bro, imagine she played a Birdie.
That'd be peak, bro.
Hell no.
But
Tripping, bro.
My main complaint is that Reed didn't do enough stretchy, unique stretchy stuff. He didn't do anything like crazy.
There is a big complaint about like a lack of powers between everybody.
See,
or at least like a lack of powers and a lack of creative usage of people's powers in this movie.
See, I only felt that way about Reed. I had zero problem with everyone else. That being said, I did see someone say like this is a movie about scientists and explorers. Not, I mean, their powers aren't really the focus, which to be honest, I like. I just wish Reed did more things with his powers, because he has the most I don't know, not unique's not the right word, but malleable's kind of the right word.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, when it comes to the powers, yeah, like I can understand the argument, but then again, it's like, for me, I think the best usage of the powers was Sue, and her being able to
actually use her powers the way they're meant to be used, and not just go invisible and create some force fields.
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. Yeah, that was really cool, and her using the extent of her powers like that on Galactus at the end, crazy.
Let's talk about Johnny, bro. This man,
bro, dude, I'm glad that they fucking shut off his intelligence, bro.
Yes, bro. Like someone said, because, like they were happy they shut off intelligence, because it makes he actually it makes it make sense that he should be on the spaceship when they get the powers, other than like, oh, it's Sue Storm's brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because like that's kind of like because it feels like that's what happens like in the movies. It's like in the earlier movies, like in the 90s one, it's like, oh yeah, it's always Reed who's a scientist, but it's like like Ben tags along because he's a pilot.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, then you have like in the 90s, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna tag along, remembering Sue and Johnny, because like Reed hasn't seen them in a long time, and like that's for the 90s. And then like in the early 2000s, it's like, oh yeah, Reed's a scientist, he's going broke, he needs help from Victor, and they bring along Sue and Victor because, you know, it's like they work for the company, but then it's also like Ben's a pilot. It's like, okay, cool. And they bring along Johnny because like, yeah, Sue's brother in a sense. And then like in the fan force sick, it's like, you know, it's like Johnny, Reed, Victor, and Ben, and they go to the different dimension.
And like Johnny's smart in that, but it's not like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
It's like I don't know. It's just misplaced.
Yeah, and like Sue's smart, but Ben's not even a pilot. He's just there.
Bro's just there. They don't even take a ship.
Yeah, they're like childhood friends. He's like, I want you to be here for this, so let's go to a different dimension.
Yeah, you're helping me make my science experiment for a middle school, like school fair, like science fair, you know?
Yeah, and we're 35, and yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, like them being able to, like, for Johnny to be like, oh yeah, like she's speaking a different language, I gotta decipher this shit, and him having this whole arc of him deciphering a different language for a woman is so Johnny, bro.
So
that's Johnny.
Literally,
like, yeah,
perfection,
like,
man.
The way they're like that, because, you know, people were like upset at first because they were saying, oh yeah, this Johnny's like more mature, and he's not like a fucking like an asshole when it comes to women and shit. And people were like, what? He's not like that? That's not my Johnny. But him being able to have empathy and be like, oh yeah, like I'm helping out this mission because something, I want to know like what she's saying, something doesn't feel right, and being able to decipher the language and like like I said, like have sympathy and empathy for Shala Ball. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's fucking dope, dude. It's like, so that's good. Amazing.
I saw some people complaining like, oh, he just deciphered an alien language like that. Well, yes.
Because Johnny's smart, bro.
Not only is Johnny smart, but like we've deciphered like ancient languages that have been lost to time. I mean, it's not impossible.
And him doing that for a woman, yeah,
that's his only motivation. Yep.
Not only did he do it for a woman, but he did it to, like, you know, help out with the team. Yep. That's Johnny.
That's Johnny. And then, bro,
he was smooth with that shit too, bro. He was smooth with that shit. He's like, yeah, like, your name is Shala Ball. How you know that name? Ah, shit, bro. I learned from Batman v Superman. I'm just kidding. How you know that name?
Man, okay, so like the beginning of the movie is really fun, right? Because they're going, it's sort of like a
like a montage.
Yeah,
sequence.
montage of them, you know, doing their Fantastic Four stuff. And it's like, Fantastic Four, look at them defeating the Mole Man, and fucking Red Ghost
fighting apes.
John Malkovich isn't here. He got cut out of the movie. Why? I don't know. Because he probably was only going to be there for like a shot or two and then be gone. Because like the apes are Red Ghost's thing. For anyone that doesn't know, he controls the apes.
Re-kick the shit out of that ape, bro. Would fly into the ocean. See, there is also a thing about the one thing that kind of made the movie a 9 out of me. So, and there's a thing. So people were seeing it all over this week. People were seeing it on Monday. We're seeing it on Tuesday, Wednesday. We got to see it on Thursday. But people were saying that like, oh, how this movie is edited. It's like they're like, oh yeah, like you can tell it's edited by Kevin Feige. And I don't know what the fuck that means. However, I do feel like, while this is kind of like my similar complaint to Superman, this movie should have been at least like 15 minutes longer.
Yeah, it seems to be the main complaint from everybody. And now I'm seeing people like be like, the Fantastic Four was like, it was like so rushed, and Superman wasn't. Even though people were saying the exact same shit about Superman when it was out. And,
yeah, people were saying like the pacing was like so breakneck and everything like that. I think that the Fantastic Four, from what I've been hearing, is that like people were saying like it should have been longer, but people were saying, oh yeah, like this movie was like so slow.
I saw people say like there's a whole act missing. Like, all right, man.
I wouldn't say a whole act, but there's definitely like something that there's definitely scenes. There's definitely scenes that should have been longer and more stuff that could have been included. Yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't say like a whole arc or whole like, that's kind of crazy to say.
I'm seeing stuff that's like people are like putting up stuff from the trailer that's like technically wasn't in the movie. Like the Thing petting the dog. People are like, oh, where was this scene? It was just supposed to be like right after he pulled the ship from the water, and then he pet the dog. Yeah. Like, so it's just going to be in the beginning montage. It wasn't like some subplot that was removed.
So then there's like also another scene when like Johnny's chasing the Silver Surfer into space, and there's like that one shot where he's like, it's kind of like a,
yeah, I think that was just an alternate version of that scene.
Yeah, it was a trailer shot for sure.
Yeah, and then there's that scene from the credits of like Reed's mouth getting pulled open. I think that was one of the monkeys. So again, just part of that opening montage that was maybe at one point longer. Like I think a lot of people's like, oh, look what they cut out, look at this and look at this from the trailer. I think it's just not actually anything major.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, like had this movie had, you know, like 15 minutes more, it would have been pretty good for me. However, I'm still very satisfied for what we got. Yeah, the opening sequence was fire. I'm glad. It was so cool for them to like mention like Mole Man and everything, and like including like Subterranea and everything. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Mole Man even has like the Underbiter kind of line, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah, people are saying, yeah, this is like a live action Incredibles movie, which, I mean, yeah,
we'd say The Incredibles is an animated Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, yeah, it is the live action Incredibles movie that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, but once that second act gets going, you know, Shala Ball comes in, you know, I Herald Galactus, whatever. They go up to space to find Galactus.
And that is what I'm talking about, bro. They are the Fantastic Four. They are explorers, bro. They are space explorers, and I'm so glad that they were able to have a space sequence, bro. There's out of all, well, besides Fan Four Sick, they don't even go to space. Besides them getting their powers, they constantly go to space, bro. I'm so glad that they're able to. Like they're able to do that, and they're able to show that, you know, when they're fighting Galactus, and that whole second act, bro,
phenomenal.
Like, that was insane. That's insane, dude.
Easily the strongest part of the movie,
for sure. Like
them working together just on the ship in general. Again, showing off Johnny's intelligence. He's not just there to fucking be there. He's there like trying to get like locking onto trajectory and giving Ben information so he can pilot the thing. Reed's doing his thing, and Sue's, like, if they're in danger, like making the ship go invisible. Like, they're working as a team, as they should. But they get to Galactus, that whole planet's like fucking imploding, which is gorgeous. Incredible shots. All the space stuff is so good looking. And like when they jump into hyperspace was a really nice effect. I thought they were low-key gonna do the MCU like hexagon sort of thing to like sort of, cement it in that universe.
But it's like a wormhole type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's so dope.
And then we see Galactus for the first time, and he's fucking huge.
I know he's huge, and like I love how he's like giving. I like how they kind of give like just dialogue of like his lore and everything. He's like, yeah, I've been around for billions of years, and I have like eternal hunger.
Yeah, and again, like you said, I hadn't seen Ralph Ineson in anything. So when he was cast, I was like, all right, let me look this guy up. Let me see how he sounds like. Go do an interview. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because like it's crazy because like I saw him in The First Omen and another movie. I want to say, was he in Immaculate?
Wasn't he in
it's
The Vivitch?
Yes, I believe so. But it's funny how he's always like in these like Christian like horror-esque movies,
Crazy voice, bro.
I know his voice is insane, but it's like I said, it's so distinctive.
Yeah.
And the fact that like just hearing his voice coupled with like Galactus's size is insane.
Oh, the glowing eyes, dude. It's so fucking well done. And like,
yeah,
they've made it a point, because the MCU's gotten shit for using so much CGI. So they're like, look, we made it for real. We did it. We did it without CGI. It looks incredible. He's so big. But obviously Galactus is like, I want the baby. And they're like, no, thank you. No.
Like, hell no.
And then like his eyes stop glowing and he leans over and his eyes fucking, I don't even know what the fuck he does. And then she immediately goes into labor. I was like, oh shit. Then they have to
activated that shit, bro.
Yeah, they have to escape. They managed to get out of there, and like fucking I love how they go into hyperspace, and then because Silver Surfer is just that fucking fast,
they gotta go through the black hole, bro.
Yeah, I loved how the way they showed her speed. Not only because she managed to follow them through a fucking wormhole, but also like when she leaves, like I think towards the end, like when he shows her, like when Johnny shows her all the stuff and she just fucking dips, she fucking zips out of there, bro. So fast. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, Silver Surfer is like, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, but like one of the fastest beings. Like, yep. Silver Surfer is ridiculously fast. But yeah, they're getting chased by Silver Surfer, and that whole birthing scene was so well done. Not only is Reed trying to keep everything together, trying to keep Sue stable. Sue has to keep herself together, but also try to hide the ship. Ben's trying to pilot the ship. Johnny's trying to shoot Shalabal, while also like, yeah.
And then like also terrific, like everyone is just like doing something, and like the stakes are just so high here, and I'm like, man, like this is incredible, man.
And then Reed's like,
good.
Go here, and it's a black hole. The black hole, by the way, stunning.
I know,
absolutely stunning.
Everyone's like, wait, like you want to go through a black hole? And he's like, yeah, like she's gonna be stuck there for like about a month, and like it was so cool because Johnny's done like shooting Silver Surfer, and then like he goes to help out. Yeah, they're doing this. They're manning the ship, but also trying to like get like the right coordinates and everything. And bro, it was oh my god, that was such a crazy scene. That was such a crazy scene.
Back-to-back superhero movies with black holes.
Yeah, and both antagonists go through them.
Yeah,
and antagonists go through them, man. It's crazy.
Oh, and then before they even get to Galactus, that scene where like Reed's like talking to Ben and Johnny, and they're like pretending to pretending to be asleep because they want to like punch shit. And then he was like, and then Reed was like, then we'll punch something. And they were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, this is the Fantastic Four, bro.
This is it, man.
That shit made me so happy, man. This shit made me so fucking happy.
But yeah, you know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy how like they were off Earth for about a month. That was crazy.
Yeah. Time dilation, bro.
I know. And shit, they were like, man, like, how'd y'all defeat the Galactus? Like, yeah.
About that.
We didn't defeat him. It's like, like they wanted our son, which, and people were like, Reed didn't even have to tell him that. He's gonna tell him that because he's truthful. He's not gonna lie about it. He's like, what the hell? Like, give up the baby.
Fuck that little motherfucker, bro. Give him up. I did like when they got off the ship. It was like everyone's excited because, you know, they're still alive and, you know, they're excited for the Fantastic Four is back. And then the second the baby is shown, all the cameras like, holy shit. It was just like true to life. The baby's here.
the baby.
The baby?
And I also like how, you know, like even like, you know, the thing when he was like going outside, you know, the whole thing going around is like there was a moments of like the public hating them. I don't know. For me, I like that scene when like things walking and then the guys are like, "What about us, huh?" I'm like, damn. Yeah, it kind of hits. But there is like one scene
back to back superhero movies where the public turns on the heroes.
Yeah, a lot of similarities, huh?
Yeah, both have pacing issues according to some people. Both bring it sort of back to basics in a comic booky way, but they have a month to prepare, and they're like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? And so Reed comes up with the plan to teleport the Earth to a different solar system that's within a 2% margin of, you know, the habitable zone where Earth is. So, you know, they can still fucking exist. And for a little bit there, I thought was like, is he gonna fucking teleport the Earth to like our solar system, like the main MCU solar system?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I was gonna be like, that's kind of nuts, but obviously the plan didn't go to plan because they had the whole world conserving energy and whatever, and that failed. So then they were stuck and they had to come up with a new plan,
build these bridges.
Yeah, although before that everyone was mad, and then Sue came out and had a speech. That was like one of the best scenes in the movie for me. Yeah, like not according to Will.
What?
Yeah, he said he hated it. You didn't see that?
Where did he say?
Hold on, let me find it. He said, I really dislike Sue's speech to the crowd, actually. That was the one thing I was like, who's buying this shit? Why didn't she say, I'm not going to let my baby die, but I'm also not going to let y'all die sooner?
Look what I'm about to say.
And then he said, let me introduce you to my son, who y'all already hate and know about.
I didn't see that. I said tweaking. Anyways, I like that scene.
Yeah, I really like the speech as well.
Because I mean, like, it just further cements the point that like Sue is the glue of the Fantastic Four, you know, and she like in a way like is like the leader. Yeah, and a leader in some ways.
You also thinking about like in real life, like celebrity culture and stuff like that. They don't know her baby. It's just like a thing. You know what I mean? So like she comes out there, it's like, let me like introduce you to my son. This is Franklin. This is like, I'm not gonna just give up my son. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna give up my son to Galactus.
Do they know that intellectual? Sure, but like it's not going to hit home unless like she shows them the kid and like actually introduces him properly.
And she was saying how like, yeah, like, you know, he's my family, but y'all are as well. And he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice my son for the world, but I'm not gonna sacrifice the world for my son. You know, that was great stuff.
Yeah, I forgot the exact line, but it was a bar where she was like, what'd she say? I'm not gonna let my baby die for this world, but I'm also not gonna let the world die for, I forgot what she said, but it was a bar.
It's like, bro, she's spitting right now. But then also I like the the little argument between Reed and Sue, where like Reed's like, well, I had an idea, and then she was like, "You thought about it, didn't you?" It was like, "Yeah, I thought about it, so like I wouldn't have to think about that anymore. Like I'm always thinking about dark things because
so that we can
like
prevent those things from happening."
That's just Reed, bro. He's always thinking about things, whether if it's like the worst thing in the world or like anything else, And
like, then Sue was like, "Hey, maybe stop being autistic," and Reed was like, "My bad."
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, this is like what I don't like about you." I'm like, "Oh, well, fuck you then." I'm just kidding. It's like, whoa, damn.
Sue Storm hates autistic people, confirmed.
Crazy.
Worst character. And then Galactus shows up. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was saying, what do you think about the third act?
Oh yeah, well, Galactus shows up, and bro just starts aura walking.
Bro decides to fucking take a nice dip into
an ocean.
Damn ocean.
Yeah, that was fun. He's just like a small splash, and then it floods the fucking place. Good stuff. I saw some people were like disappointed about his size. I'm like, he could be bigger. I mean, he decides to be as big as he decides to be, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like I don't know why they're not showing all of Galactus's powers. Oh my god, they nerfed him. Welcome to the MCU, buddy. This isn't the first time.
Not only the MCU, they beat him all the time. He's not.
That's the thing too. Yeah.
He's not really an Avengers level threat.
He's not.
Like, I mean, he can be, but on like a one-off thing. He's not a Thanos. He's not even an Ultron. But yeah, he was aura walking again. Design brilliant. I love how they set him on fire. He just keeps walking. Fucking great visuals, man.
Bro don't give a shit.
But yeah, this is where I was like, okay, we're gonna get Reed's powers, and then we don't really see a bunch of it. We get a little bit of that Fantastic like body horror while he's just is stretching Reed out. That shit made me uncomfortable. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then he drops him, and he's like flattened and stretchy, and
gross.
Trying to get back. But no, he like pretty much like Reed. He's just been like just stretching himself to get to the buildings and everything, and I mean it looks cool. I fuck with it.
Just wanted a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, why wasn't he a parachute? Why wasn't he a fucking something else? Why was he something else? But yeah, I guess like I don't know. I guess the third act could have been stronger, but I also don't know what I would do differently. Yeah,
people were saying though how like it just felt underwhelming, and then people were saying how like I think the biggest complaint, because like recently I've been like on TikTok lives and stuff like that, just like discussing the movie with people. People were like, yeah, like they played it like too safe. I'm like, well, number one, it's the MCU, but number two, like they had to nail this shit down for the Fantastic Four, because like knowing that like Fantastic Four as like not only like I mean just in media has been like a laughing stock for like a little bit, and I would rather them play it safe for the Fantastic Four rather than like them doing something that's like kind of crazy.
Yeah, trying to take a swing.
Because Fantastic Four, like even as like a movie for the MCU, was like it was definitely like if this movie isn't good, then we're gonna like lose a big majority of like people,
Yeah.
So
yeah, they sort of in the way they sort of had to play it safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would rather have them do that than to just like completely do something that's like not in the nature of Fantastic Four, and to just do something that just wouldn't be good like long term.
Oh, you know what? What I was thinking at one point when when Reed earlier in the movie teleports the egg and it like shuts down all the power or whatever. I was like, damn, Fantastic Reed did this at a fucking science fair. This guy's fucking lame. This guy sent his shit to another dimension. He sent it like 6 feet away from him and it shut down all the power. This guy sucks. But yeah, seeing Sue's power in a way we've never seen it before, just pushing the shit out of Galactus, was really great. Anyone complaining has no idea who the fuck Sue Storm is.
It's fun. It's funny. I'm like literally saw a tweet about it, Someone said, of course, the MCU grifter dipshits hate their like lemmings when Sue does anything in Fantastic Four. They're just too idiotic and comic illiterate to know that Sue has user powers against Celestials in the comics and stuff like that. And people were just saying like, "Oh my god, like why is Sue Storm like she's not like I don't know why they just like she's like this strong for like no reason." I'm like, bro, there's like no way.
Yeah, you got no idea. Sue's crazy. But yeah, I can't think of anything else other than the post-credit scene.
What'd you think about that Doom reveal?
Hey man, look, I'm not as annoyed by it as you are. So I was like, cool. I mean, like, I expected it.
Well, yeah, I expected it too.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Cool. Also, sort of like the first look at like the design for Doom, and it looks good.
Someone said, I'm actually angry because they're saying how the Doom mask it's like very, very reminiscent of the Mark 1 suit from Iron Man.
Bruh.
And I was like, look, man,
that's
kind of crazy. But like, I don't know, man. I couldn't like.
It looks like Doom's. What do you want?
I couldn't even think about that, bro. But so I also heard a theory because Doom has his mask off, and obviously he's gonna show his face to a child. Someone said, "What if Franklin was healing Doom's face?"
I saw like, that, but there's also the rumor that he's just not disfigured, and some people are mad at that. But then some people retort to that saying like originally Doom didn't have a disfigured face because he has like a scar on his face, and he's so like egotistical that he thinks one imperfection, one imperfection is like makes him hideous, so he wears a mask, and they're gonna go that route. I don't know. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. There's so many iterations of these characters. They could do anything, and someone could be like, "Oh, well, this is actually comic accurate because of this, this, and this." And then like they could have done the disfigured thing, and people would have been mad and be like, "Oh, well, in the comics, he's not disfigured and he only has a scar." Like there's no winning. But yeah, I'm just for Doomsday. I'm fine. Like I'm fine with the RDJ thing, depending on the execution. If the execution's shit, I'll be upset. If it's fine, I'll be like, fine. I'm not. It is what it is.
I don't know, man. I think you're just like you're eating up corporate slop.
You know what?
So
you're right.
We need to watch real cinema, man.
Yeah, like fucking Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, God.
Megan 2.0.
Megan 2. Bro, Megan 2. Bro. Did I tell you that I got the Megan popcorn bucket?
No.
Yeah, I didn't. I was lying.
Oh, I didn't even know. Is there actually a popcorn bucket?
There's a popcorn bucket, and they serve it they sell it at a draft house.
Is it like good? Or?
It's like her. I mean, it's just her head.
In like a problematic way.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's just a Megan popcorn bucket.
Megan popcorn bucket. Ew, I don't like that at all. Hey, but that Galactus popcorn bucket.
They're selling out.
It's only $80.
Yeah, only.
You know what you could get for $80? Mario Kart World.
I don't even have a Switch, bro.
Neither do I. Well, I do have a Switch, not a Switch 2. But yeah, that is 8 out of 10, and for you 9 out of 10.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything else. Herbie was fun. I like Herbie.
I love Herbie.
Yeah. But yeah, did you watch anything this week? And by that, I mean, did I watch anything this week? Because I want to go first. Because I only watched a couple things.
Sure. Go for it.
I watched the Ted movies. They were fine. I've seen them before, but I haven't seen them in so long. I was like, there were those movies. Like, I have movies on Letterboxd that I have logged, but I don't have like rated because I haven't seen them in so long that I can't really give a fair score. Yeah, so I watched the Ted movies and they're fine. The show is so much better. The show is like genuinely very, very good. Yeah, I think just Ted as a concept works better as a show. Also, Mark Wahlberg's not in it, and that's, a plus. I also watched Get Shorty with John Travolta and, Delroy Lindo. It was fine. It was a movie that I'd seen before, or not seen before, but like throughout my over 2 decades of existence, I had seen on TV bits and pieces of it, and I'm just now like seeing like the complete picture. Yeah, it was fine, but that's all I watched. I was slacking these past couple weeks, but I didn't mean to slack these past couple weeks. There's a bunch of shit on my watch list that I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch Midsummer. I wanted to watch Booksmart. I wanted to watch Little Women. I wanted to watch Chef. But like,
you ain't watching shit, bro.
Well, no, you're right. I'm not, because they're not on anything. It's pissing me off.
Chef is on Hulu, bro.
No, it's not.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's literally not.
Hey, get that Tubi, bro.
I ain't getting Tubi, bro. Well, I mean,
it's free.
I know it's free, but I don't want to watch Tubi with all the ads and shit.
Sometimes you gotta suffer, bro.
I mean, I did suffer for The Raid.
Huh?
I watched The Raid on Tubi.
Damn.
Yeah, it was, honestly, I probably didn't give it a fair, because there were so many ads, bro. There were so many ads. It probably fucked up the pacing. Not probably. It did fuck up the pacing. Anyway, that's all I watched, so.
Did I talk about Presents last time?
I think
I left off on Sunshine, right?
Well, I was gonna say I think you talked about The Big Lebowski, and I think that was where you stopped.
Okay, so then,
or no, did you talk about Sunshine?
I think I did.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you're right.
Whatever. I'm gonna talk about Presents. I watched Presents, and it's a movie. It was kind of like one of those, like, I mean, I like how it's shot. I like how it's kind of like this, like floating first person, like ghost story POV type of like shit shot, with like a whole like family and everything. I think like the movie's like, I don't know, there wasn't too much to like. I mean, I put this in my Letterboxd review. There are things I like about this movie: the POV cinematography, some of the effects used by the presents, and the performances from the main family. While I do like some of the drama in this film, I was expecting the movie to have some scares or more crazier things happen in the movie, but unfortunately leaves me wanting more and unsatisfied. So basically what I meant by the effects used by the presents, like basically the presents, in short, is like the main girl's dead friend who is like protecting the girl in a way, and how she like uses some of these effects. She uses like some of this like rumbling effect, and she'll like do this like rumbling effect like up close to like people that she wants to get attention from, which I think that was like really, really cool. Yeah, like I said, I really did like the POV cinematography. There was one character that was kind of like my favorite, and that was the dad, and that's played by Chris Sullivan. And I think he was like such a understanding character in the film. But the motivation behind, like, I guess like the villain in the film was like kind of stupid, because like basically the family moves into this, like, you know, this new house because of like the accident in some way, shape, or form, right? And the brother has a friend who then the friend like kind of like hooks up with like the sister, and he basically likes killing women to have like some sort of control, because he doesn't have that in his like personal life. And so like he killed like the girl's like friends, and into which, like, I don't know, for some reason this dude has like a fucking problem of like drugging he tries to drug like the family. He tries to drug like the girl like multiple times. I mean, he does it, but then like it gets interrupted and shit like that. It's kind of stupid. But I don't know. I don't know. I just did not really enjoy the movie as much as I thought it would. I thought it was gonna be like super duper scary, because that's kind of how it was like marketed. And you know, it's a Soderbergh film, and you know he's always like being experimental and everything. So I can't really fault him too much for that, but it just wasn't for me. And yeah, I watched that Megan 2. I simultaneously do not know what the fuck was happening in the movie. I just feel like there was a lot of things going on about the movie, because, like, you know, obviously after the first events of the first Megan film, they're still trying to push like the thing of AI and everything. But now there's a AI made by the government who like goes rogue on the mission. They're trying to like find it and everything. But it just feels like they course corrected it from being like a horror to now like being like an action thriller film, and it was like cool in some parts, but I feel like it wasn't executed very well, in my opinion. Yeah, man, go watch Megan 2. It's probably the best film of the year. I ain't gonna lie.
Terminator 2 for the modern day.
Nothing like Terminator 2.
Disagree.
Then I watched Final Destination Bloodlines. This one shocked me because I like this one a lot. I kind of like this. I like this quite a bit. It's Final Destination. You kind of know like what you're gonna get in this like film. I think like all the kills are kind of cool. As Final Destination goes, they're kind of creative. They're pushing the boundary. I liked most of the characters in this film. I also really like Tony Todd, even though this was like kind of like his like last live action performance, and his dialogue even shows that too, which is very sad to think about. But I really really enjoyed it. You should go watch it if you have the time. Then I watched Karate Kid Legends, and I've been wanting to watch this one for a while because
It's peak, right?
it was peak.
Yeah, it was peak, right?
I mean, no, it wasn't. So here's the thing. I heard all the things from the Karate Kid movies, like from this movie before it came out. Critics got to see it early, and I was like, man, I like the Karate Kid, especially like it's kind of cool, like how they're just releasing one like after the events of Cobra Kai and everything. And people and the critics were like, yeah, this is like very bad. It's not very Karate Kid like, and it's all this stuff. And when I watched this movie, I was keeping those things in mind, and the action is good. I really do like the action. I think it has a lot going for it, but it just feels like an amalgamation of like different things mashed into like one script. I mean, because like basically a focal point, like one of the big points in the film is that like this kid is like, he's new to New York. His name is Lee. I think his name is Lee. His character named Lee goes to New York because his mother she's like done with the karate violence nonsense because they lost their brother. Like Lee lost his brother during that stuff. And they go to New York, and he meets this girl, and they work at a pizza shop and everything. And the dad used to be a boxer, but because he owes money to a local karate place, he has to he gets like help from like Lee to like be better at karate. But that doesn't work out so well because the guy ends up like cheating, like when the dad is going to like do boxing and stuff like that, he cheats anyways. that's like one half of the film. And then the other half is that, oh yeah, Jackie Chan flies in to go visit the family, and he's helping Lee train for this karate tournament called the Five Boroughs. And also all throughout the film, like the bully is just like obviously he's trying to be like a bully, but I feel like it doesn't really. It feels like you hate him, and you like, but for like no good reason. At least for like the first Karate Kid, you dislike, what's his name, Johnny. You dislike Johnny for like a good reason. It's like, but this one is just like, oh, I don't like him and I want to see him die. At least for me. And Ralph Macchio's in it for like a good total of like maybe less than 20, maybe like less than 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
And he shows up at the hour mark of the movie. And the movie is an hour and 30 minutes, which is crazy. And then also, I haven't seen the second Karate Kid in a while, but I think there's like a retcon in there for sure. There's a retcon in the second, because they open up with the second Karate Kid movie, and they kind of show how like, oh yeah, like the Miyagis have also known like the Hans for like generations. So that's how you have Jackie Chan in the mix. But also Jackie Chan, like they don't mention like Dre Parker anywhere. Like Jaden Smith's character is like completely not even like, he's not even mentioned in the movie. And so obviously you know, Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, they're doing this like training sequence, the montage sequence with this with the kid. Obviously, the kid wins and everything, and he gets the girl at the end, but it just feels so weird. It doesn't feel right. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to, which sucks because I'm a big fan of the Karate Kid stuff, and I thought like, they're gonna do something like kind of a little bit bigger and a little bit more exciting given how Cobra Kai kind of ended and how long that was, but it's all right. And that's all I watched.
Lyle, you watched a lot of mid the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I did.
Well, except Fantastic Four and Superman, but
yeah.
Outside of the mid, pretty good couple of weeks. Oh, we got back to back. Fire
for sure. Yeah, we got that shit going.
Yeah, we're eating good. But is that the show?
That is the show.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE nerds, all one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @Zenith_ on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
At Torrenga on Instagram.
All right. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. This will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.